Hey Tony, it's Saturday, and first off, to answer your question of the week, our weapons are coming along. They've been built, they just haven't been covered. As soon as their covers are all set, then they'll be done, and we'll have a bunch of other weapons to add to our pool, which is pretty great. So this week was really, really busy. Just it all started on Sunday when I went to the litigation boot camp because we started up in Greenfield that day, and then made our way. Then we were up in Greenfield. Then we stopped back in Springfield. I went and had dinner because then I made my way down to Norwalk, Connecticut, which is about an hour and a half away. It was I got to my hotel about 9ish or so on Sunday. No. It was about 7ish. Sorry, it was like 7:30 or somewhere around there. And I got all checked in and everything, which was nice. Like, it was a nice hotel. And then the next day, I went and made my way to the train station, which it was actually a really pleasant train ride. It was about 2 hours long. I think I got my train at about 6, and I got into New York City about 8ish, give or take. I actually ended up. This was kind of a funny thing on my part. I realized when I had set up when I put on my suit the next day that I had forgotten to grab a tie. So I was panicking. I was like, "Oh crap! I don't have a tie. I need to get a tie. This is going to be a professional event." And so I ended up stopping at just like a little shop right next to the train station, and bought myself a new tie. It's a nice tie, but boy was it expensive. Way more than it was worth. But there was a moment where I didn't think I had a choice. When I actually got into the city, it was rough, because it was Veterans Day, and so Veterans Day they were having a parade in New York, and so what ended up happening is Fifth Avenue, the main street of New York City, ended up being completely blocked off. So I started to walk to where I was going. I was like, okay, this is gonna be easier for me to walk than to get an Uber or anything. The problem is my phone GPS was dumb and thought I was in a car. So as I was heading where it was saying you should be going straight, I was going the opposite direction because it thought I was driving, and it was a one-way street. So I walked for about 50 minutes. I was like, okay, nope, I'm not in the right part of the town. I'm gonna catch an Uber. So I called my Uber. We were making great time. I was supposed to be there 8:45, no problem, easy to do. Then they shut down Fifth Avenue, and then the side streets got clogged up. I was in my Uber for over 45 minutes, and my driver was like, "I, I can't take you there. It'll be better for you if you just walk." So he let me out, and I started walking. Except New York City decided to block off the sidewalks as well for the parade. So I ended up walking an extra 6 or 7 blocks so I can get to where I needed to be. Unfortunately, I didn't get there till about 9:30. So I was a half hour late to the conference, which was a little disappointing, but they were understanding. The real kicker was when I got there, I realized I was one of the only people there in a suit and tie. Most everybody else was in like nice shirts, nice pants, but no ties or no suits, etc., etc. In fact, one person was in like sweatpants and a hoodie. So that was the thing. So that was kind of a little bit shocking to go in there, especially because I was so worried about it for a while. By the time I actually got to by the time I actually ended up the conference was really good. Like it was a really good time. I learned a lot, which was important. I made my way back down to Grand Central Station. I got a train out about 5:30. I ended up getting back to where my car was at about still about 7 or so, and then I drove the way up to Springfield, which would have already been a really busy day, but the rest of the week was even more packed. So I had to do a lot of running around at home the past few days, and then on Thursday I ended up having to go to the New York border of Massachusetts to a place called Pittsfield for court. Pittsfield was about an hour and a half drive from our apartment in Springfield, and it was about a 2 hour drive from my office. And then I had to come back after I was done in court because I was done pretty quick. I had to come back home, and I still had to work for another 45 minutes when I was just already drained and exhausted for driving so much. It's So my supervising attorney always makes the joke that collections attorneys are highway lawyers because so much of your time is spent driving as you're going over cases in your mind, and it's really true. Like I've been to courts all over Western Mass, and it's a lot of the drives are pretty long. All in all, like at a minimum, like the closest spot that we have to my office is the Springfield court. That's about a 30-minute drive. Otherwise, I'm driving, an hour, 2 hours, hour 45 minutes, something like that, and it adds up. But it was kind of interesting that it really does give you a good chance to just kind of sit and think about your case and kind of prep yourself for trial. Last night was pretty awesome when we had a lot of friends come over last night because Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. In fact, one of our friends, say hi, Sky.
Hello.
Sky is one of Taylor.
You missed the opportunity to say hi, Sky.
Nobody cares about you, Justice.
Oh, fuck you too.
Just kidding, friend. But Sky actually flew in from Nebraska. So
I would have laughed so hard if you got the state wrong.
I figured it was Nebraska, but it was like the brain was like Arkansas. Like no, it's Nebraska. But Sky flew into Nebraska on Friday. Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arkansas.
Flew into or from? You said flew into Nebraska.
Oh, flew from Nebraska to Bradley in Hartford. I was saying how long of a week this has been. This just attests to it. But we had a lot of people over here last night for Pokemon to come out. It was pretty cool. We had a good time. But all in all, it's this next week's going to be a lot more low key. I'm not going to be doing as much driving. I'm in court only one day this week, and it's just in Springfield. So it's going to be kind of nice to take a step back and relax again. So Tony, my question for you is, how's your buffer making? I saw you had a couple in the back, but are you going to end up getting more, and are you going to end up going to Hiram for their events? Tony, I'll see you on Tuesday. Later, bro.